Hey, what's going on, guys? Mush back at it with another video. Have some unfortunate news today as a PC game that's a pretty notable title is officially shutting down. We got the official notice that the Culling would be shutting down. The development team put out a post and I do want to go over that post. Always some unfortunate news. While the Culling did have a relatively mixed reception, it's always sad to see any game go to the wayside, whether it be Lawbreakers, whether it be any of the other games in the past that have had, mixed to negative receptions being closed down. It's always sad to see, especially when you know that the main people that are going to suffer from this is the development team, so we'll talk a little bit about that. Also, we've got even more news on Halo the Master Chief Collection. The team just held an AMA over on r/gaming, and a lot of information was released as a part of that. Specifically, that the game will be not only coming to Windows 10 and Steam, it will also be playable on Windows 7. How about that? And official mod support is being explored with the community. We'll take a look at everything of note that was said in that AMA because a lot was actually said. And lastly, I do want to highlight a pretty cool retro beat 'em up that just released on Steam. It's called Unending Dust. It's got a great art style, and another game that is probably going to get forgotten about in the coming weeks, but I want to make sure that I give you guys the heads up about it, and maybe if you're interested in it, you'll add it to your wish list. Talk about that at the end of this video. First, let's talk all about the Culling, as this game is now officially shutting down. Again, the dev diary was put out today. I'll go through the entire post because we could do Culling at least that before the game shuts down. And it says the Culling has had a wild ride. Since the game's original launch in March of 2016, more than 3 million of you have tested your resolve on the island, with nearly half that number joining the fray since the Culling Origins became free to play on Xbox One last year. The game's servers have run continuously with the stray outage here and there for 3 years, but the time has come for us to announce that we will be taking the Culling offline on May 15, 2019. While the Culling's offline modes will remain available after that day, online play and associated features will not. To that end, the game's store pages and in-app purchases will be disabled as soon as possible. When we launched the Origins update and made the game free to play, our hope was that revenue generated from in-app purchases would be enough to sustain our team and support ongoing development, but unfortunately that was not the case. Even with thousands of active daily users, the revenue was only a fraction of what our dev team required to continue daily operations. As a result, we've been forced to reduce our team size, which renders us unable to provide ongoing support and updates that would allow the game to grow and thrive. If there is a team out there who is interested in taking the reins from us and exploring the game's potential, please contact us at info.xaviant.com. We think that with proper resources and know-how in the free-to-play world, the right group could make great things happen. While it's sad for us to say goodbye, we want to offer a sincere and heartfelt thank you to everyone who has enjoyed the game, contributed feedback, and spent their hard-earned money to support our efforts over the years. The Culling has always been a labor of love, a learning experience, and an opportunity to pursue our passion for making games. All of that was coming directly from Josh Van Velde, the director of operations over at Xaviant. So the Culling, again, a game that had quite a bit of attention when it was released back in 2017, especially with the Origins update. I should note that the release happened a while ago, but the official release in 2017. And then the Origins update seemed like it was going to get people back in it. Of course, they added Battle Royale to it as well. And this was the time period where everybody was trying to get into the Battle Royale fray, and a lot of people just thought, hey, throwing Battle Royale in our game might be the way to revive it. Unfortunately for the Culling, that was really not the case, and again, the game did go free to play, so it really had every opportunity to be something of note. Unfortunately, it never resonated at an extreme level, and not enough to really sustain the development, and now it will be shutting down again on May 15th. Always sad to see that happen. I know for a lot of you guys, you're just gonna look at it as the Culling being this mediocre game, or even less than mediocre, but from my vantage point, always just upset about it more from a development standpoint because the developers are the one that's really going to be affected. I mean, yes, it sucks for the people that invested money into the Culling. Yeah, that really sucks that the game is going to go offline and your in-game purchases are really going to be worthless at this point. But again, we're going to have people actually losing their jobs, and that's always unfortunate. But in the case of the Culling, if it's not sustainable in its current form, I mean, you really can't keep the game going. I do understand it from that standpoint. Again, you can play the game for the next 2 months or so. It'll be shutting down May 15th. I imagine the majority of you guys are not going to go back and experience the Culling again, but just wanted to give you guys a heads up on that, as it's always some unfortunate news. Alright, how about some good news? Everybody's hyping up Master Chief Collection on PC. It seems like I'm talking about this game every day because new information is just coming up, and Brian, aka Sketch, the community director at Halo developer 343 Industries, held an AMA today, and we got a lot of information about Halo Master Chief Collection, specifically on mod support he said something pretty interesting. I don't know how many of you guys were expecting mod support to be a part of this game, but here's what he said when asked about mod support. Quote, "We are working closely with the members of the modding community, including some friends on the El Dorado team, to explore our options for official mod support, but we won't have this at launch. Our number one priority for launch is ensuring we get each of these core games right for PC, and security anti-cheat is a big focus. As we've stated, this entire offering will grow and evolve over time." Okay, so that is some incredible news. They are actually working on official mod support, even if it's not going to be available at launch. The fact that they're keeping the doors open to it, the fact that they're working on it already, that is some great news, and I completely understand it from their standpoint, being like, hey, we just want to get these games out at the most suitable state with anti-cheat being implemented to make sure the games work on PC really well, and then we'll work on some of the other features as we go along, because I think at this point the majority of us just want that core Halo experience that translates well over to PC. Modding would just be the icing on the cake, but it does seem like we're going to be getting that icing on the cake, so that is awesome. In terms of the PC version, here's what he said about that in terms of frame rate and some other stuff. "The current plan is to support an uncapped FPS in each title, but as we move deeper into development on each title, we'll have to determine what's feasible within each game. Delivering great keyboard and mouse controls is one of our top priorities. We are exploring different ways to make a balanced, fun experience for PC, and we will share more details on this in the future. We've been blown away by the interest and support for the Halo Insider program. This is where you can sign up and play Halo Reach a little bit early and help 343 get that game up and running. Our goal is to balance accepting as many as possible against the specific needs for a particular flight." Another major question that was asked was, should we expect to see the same amazing ranking credit system in Halo Reach like it was in the past? And good news on that. First, we are happy to say that Halo Reach and MCC will in fact have the same level of mix and match customization found in the original games, all the individual armor pieces, etc. As to how it's earned, we are exploring a new and deeper progression system that retains the feel of the old systems and blends them with newer models for game progression, all based on in-game play, no type of monetization or anything of that nature. So good to see no monetization as well. And as far as a release date goes, because I know that's what was the major concern for a lot of you people, when are we actually going to play it? A lot of unclarity surrounding that, but here's what he said. "Right now, the priority is getting Halo Reach ready for public fighting, and work is underway almost in parallel for Halo CE, which will be the second game, Halo CE being Halo 1. Ultimately, we want to get these games into players' hands as soon as possible. We're hesitant to commit to a firm time frame because the truth is, they're ready when they're ready. Flighting will be critical to help us get these titles to a great place, and depending on how that goes, it could lengthen or extend the release cadence. We'll definitely share more details as we start ramping up flighting. Personally, I've been speculating that Halo Reach will release sometime in the summer, and then each game will follow after that, maybe in 3-month increments. That's what I would like to see. 3-month increments might even be a little bit too long, because after they get the work done on Halo Reach, I imagine the fundamentals for the PC version are already in place, and it's just carrying that over game to game, so that might actually speeden up development. That's just speculation on my part, but that is how I'm viewing it. If we could get the entirety of the collection out before the end of 2019, that would be incredible, but I do think that's asking for a little bit much, but it does look like they're going full on with this PC version from the keyboard and mouse support, uncapped frame rates. Modding will be introduced after launch, and again, Windows 7 will be a thing. If you still have Windows 7, you'll be able to play this game, and that is pretty freaking incredible. So Halo MCC on PC continues to shape up very nicely. I want to hear about a price rather soon, because I've been speculating it could be $20 for each game, it could be $60 for the entire collection. For any of you guys thinking that it's going to be a budget release, I think you're going to be sorely disappointed on that. Alright, and lastly, I do want to give a heads up to Unending Dust. This is a retro beat-em-up set in a post-apocalyptic world. You can play solo or with up to 4 players and brawl your way through hordes of enemies set in a desolate future. You play as an elite mercenary who must fight against a dark force who has locked the earth in a state of unending dust. Quite a big fan of beat-em-up titles. The ones back in the day like Streets of Rage, I love those games, and this one has a really old school look to it. It did release at $11.99, so a little bit of a hefty price point, but I would say add it to your wishlist, and I imagine this is going to be one that's going to be on sale rather quickly. It was a self-published game by Vindicate Games, so I could also see it being a part of a humble bundle down the line, but a game at the very least, if you're into beat-em-ups, add it to your wishlist. There's only 12 reviews posted right now on Steam. It's been out for a day, but I do imagine that this one's going to be long forgotten rather quickly. And that's going to conclude this video, guys. Again, the calling will officially be shut down on May 15th, so that's some unfortunate news. However, MCC on PC, the Master Chief Collection, that continues to shape up very nicely. Windows 7 and Windows 10 will be supported. Official mod support is being explored. Looks like they're really going to be doing this PC version justice. Hopefully, we get Halo Reach sooner rather than later. And Unending Dust, wanted to give that game a shout because I do imagine it's going to be one forgotten about rather quickly. But for those of you guys that dig beat-em-ups, it's one to add to your wish list. That's going to conclude this video. If you guys have a request for a future video, you can always leave that in the comment section down below, and I will catch you guys in the next one. Peace out. Hey, what's going on, guys? Mush here again. Hope you enjoyed the video. As you guys might know, YouTube's notification system is sometimes a little bit wonky, even if you're subscribed to the channel. Maybe you're not abundantly aware that I uploaded a video. To remedy that situation, make sure you hit the bell notification button. This way, whenever I upload a new video, and I try to upload as consistently as possible, you will be notified directly of the upload, and you can watch it as soon as it goes live. I would really appreciate if you guys hit that button so you can stay up to date with all of the content I'm posting. But as always, guys, thanks for watching, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace out.